Hello there, listeners. Here's James behind the microphone, and
Bart, as always.
Yes, welcome on our next podcast, next episode of Means for War podcast. Today, it's not the hobby edition. It's always hobby edition, but not our personal hobbies, but the news section. And this episode will be huge part.
Yes, this episode will be a huge part, and we'll talk about the Adepticon 2026.
It's a huge deal because Adepticon, if you know, then you know. But if you don't know, is a huge place where, let's say, a huge pilgrimage of whole wargaming community goes there. Every publisher, every game is there, and you can go check everything what's going on over there in the wargaming world.
Yes, it is one of the biggest convention in the world, especially related to miniatures and to wargaming. And I hope maybe next year we'll have a chance to participate as a Minister for War. We all see.
We always talk like that every year when Adepticon is going on. That will be next year over there. Let's keep fingers are crossed here, but let's jump straight to the what actually happened this year at Adepticon and what trends are going on.
Our question for you: did you participate in this event? Do you have any thoughts or maybe opinion about the Adepticon this year? Leave your comment below and let's discuss.
Yes, let's discuss and let's jump to the news. So let's start with not so obvious something, because normal thing would be to talk about elephant in the room, which is
11th edition of 40K.
Yes.
Recently announced by Games Workshop.
It's a huge topic, actually, but we will talk about this a little bit later. In my opinion, let's start with a very ballsy move from Trench Crusade.
Yes, because the Trench Crusade crew announced that they will publish first two-player starter set, the Carcass Front, and it will include 2 warbands as well as 2 big campaigns.
And everything in plastic.
And everything in plastic.
Like, yes. As well, in Trench Crusade topic, it's a deal as well, because it was a little bit time ago, it was only STL company, let's say.
Yeah,
right?
James, I know that you did a little bit of reading and checking, so introduce to our listeners what is the Carcass Front.
First of all, before the Carcass Front, first of all, they were, in my opinion, very brave, or stupid, probably not brave, because when we were, keeping monitor on our monitoring the news from the Adepticon, there was a Warhammer, and then there was a Trench Crusade. Every major publisher, but not Games Workshop, waits when Games Workshop will end their stream, and probably next day will launch their own stuff. Trench Crusade did this during the first day as well as GW. So let's say like that, this was a GW spot to announce everything on the day one. And Trench Crusade just said, hold on, I have got something from myself here as well.
They were actually first.
Even before the GW live stream, right? So ballsy move, but it, in my opinion, just shows how they are rising, how they are growing, even in numbers, because 14 people is actually, I do believe, 16 people. But still,
you mean the crew?
The crew of the Trench Crusade, 4 people to 16, but it's like, hey, how many employees Games Workshop gets, right? So
hundreds probably.
Probably, as not if thousands something, including the stores and stuff. So yes, very small team. But making something huge. In my opinion, Carcass Front is a great place to start playing and start collecting Trench Crusade, getting known with the system, because before to play a starter, you have to jump into the Discord, get the rules, get everything, in that way, probably ask some questions. Here you're getting everything in one box, as the starter should be, right? So rule sets, dice, everything what you need. Also a huge map, which I will talk about in a moment. It will launch in late July for 129.99. So the price is, in my opinion, alright, because it's 16 hard plastic miniatures, 4 to new war bands. The first one, the Heretic Naval Riders, and the, of course, more, God-oriented, God-friendly procession of the Sacred Affliction. That's it. The rest of the stuff will be the box will include the dice rulers tokens needed to play, and additionally, I don't know if it will be inside the starter box. I do believe so, but if not, I haven't found this yet. There will be 2 campaign systems. I do believe this will be in a box because there will be a map in the box for the second one. The first one is a 2-player narrative campaign where you're trying to stop the Leviathan, the ancient horror from rising from the Carrion Coast, and that's it what we actually right now know. But the second one, in my opinion, is something new. Tell me if there is something like that in the wargaming. I don't know, maybe. But Corpse Depot campaign is like a huge map where 2 to 8 players play actually together, and there is a resource system. There is like movement system. And when the armies, the factions will meet, they will collide, they will fight. In my opinion, it's something like in the PC gaming, something close to Total Warhammer, Total War.
It's a fully crafted campaign system
Yes,
for a
so
war game.
yeah, so not only the battle, but also some management of stuff, right? So this is it.
And I heard that they started a collaboration with the Arm Painter.
Oh, this is actually nice because they stated that they will have a special paint set containing seven paints for the Prussian war bands, Prussian colors, and that's it. They are partnering with Army Painter. Army Painter did that before with some other brands, but maybe not wargaming. I do believe there is a masterclass
with wargaming
with Gorning as well.
also. Yeah.
I know Vallejo did this with Infinity, where they have their own sets for the Infinity, but for the like Trench Crusade, that's the first, and the first was Army Painter. So that's it about the Trench Crusade.
Yeah, and we recently received the 2 new boxes for the Prussians in plastic. It was the sniper set and this expansion set for the core warband.
Yeah, as
And-
well. We are talking about this the last podcast, not maybe the last, but the last news podcast. And yeah, they just landed, and that's it. How do you see? What do you think about what's going on with Trench Crusade, Bart?
Well, the system is actually growing, and I'm quite surprised of the pace they have. Maybe due to the small team, they might be more agile than big corporations. They can make quicker decisions.
Smaller people, it means smaller like rules and organization, right? So
Yeah.
so every decision is probably made faster.
At the full plastic, it was a big gamble from their side. Many bigger companies did not decide to make full plastic sets, so that's a great move, and I think that they will succeed. 2-player starter set is a no-brainer for the new
Yes.
players. It is a great opportunity to storm the retail stores, not only with 1 or 2 warbands, but the fully fledged system. 1 box, 2 players. You can introduce your game to your friend, or maybe if you already have all the models, you can organize some kind of campaign with colleagues from your gaming club.
Even small tournament, even, right? So,
Yeah, even small tournament. I'm not sure if the Trench Crusade is a tournament friendly war game. I think not really.
I saw some tournaments, let's say, on the Discord servers where people were, going in local clubs to do some matchmaking gaming.
What I totally love, I also saw some photos. What I totally love is that even on these small tournaments or bigger games where a few people meet, they really put an effort to create atmospheric tables.
Yes, that's true, actually.
It is not the cardboard for 40k, L-shaped cardboards, okay? It's fully fleshed trenches or battlefield, stuff like this, and I totally love it. That despite the cool-looking models,
No, immersion.
yeah,
Just immersion, because that's why you also paint models, right, to get those immersion. And you're doing this with the miniatures. Why you are not making this with the table, right? Putting the cardboard stuff it breaks immersion, and that's it, right? So
I
yeah.
will totally need to dig deeper. I'm curious why this system gathered so many immersion involved players around it, and no other system is doing this. Maybe except the Necromunda.
Maybe Grimdark 200, but this is what I didn't dig in the Discord server so much. Actually, I do believe I scraped it a little bit, but I think that people, the Trench Crusade gathers people who actually love the game, not from the mechanic point, but from the the visual look of this, how the game looks. In my opinion, it's a natural reference and stuff where people who are drawn by the style of the game will benefit and will try to replicate that style on the tabletop as well. There are a lot of artworks, not only from the official sources, but people are making their own stuff and they are sharing on the Discord groups. There are a lots of Deviant arts where there are Trench Crusade themed and stuff. So I do believe that's the point. That's why it's going on way towards the immersion.
Yeah, and I'm curious of the next releases, except of this starter set. Maybe new factions in plastic, maybe some other standalone starters or starter boxes for the whole army.
As we stated, 16 team people. They recently have 4 people actually working on the project. That's actually pretty huge, and I'm amazed how they are growing the brand with so small team. Right, I do believe they are not making any hard in calendars deadlines due to that small team, but they said they are trying to get 2 new factions to the game
This year, yes,
this year, and update the existing ones, especially from the starter. There are 2 units from each for each faction, one per faction, a new bunch of models. So that's it. As I said in recent podcasts, I'm really keeping fingers on Trench Crusade. I am not maybe 100% fan of the style, as it's a main magnet for the game. So I'm not thinking about getting the 2-player starter set. But yeah, it's really cool to see small team making a huge game and seeing it succeed, in my opinion.
Indeed. And let's jump to Corvus Belli and Infinity and Warcraft releases.
Corvus Belli is responsible for Infinity and for the Warcrow. You are fresh listeners. That's the systems. Smaller systems than I do believe even most of bigger war games, but still having a lot of fans, diehard fans. We are painting a lot of Infinity in our studio and Warcrow as well. So for the Corvus Belli, they made some stuff.
Indeed.
And there is not only stuff in minis, because there are some. They are, I do believe, they are launching the old, forgotten some of the armies which are in the legends right now. They the rule sets for the miniatures that are not in the retail. So basically, if the army hadn't any rule sets and wasn't available to purchase, but you had that army in your home painted, you can play with it because they added some rules. And the armies from that part of the armies, they pulled the Caledonian highline their army. They will resell it again, and as they say,
they look like a Scottish warriors.
Yes, and that's something I love to see in Infinity because they look different.
Yes, I think that Corvus Belli and his Infinity brand reached the dead end of the design. Kinda,
because like
I heard tons of good thoughts and words about the rules, about how the game is playing, how balanced it is, how many possibilities to play you have. But every release for me looks almost the same.
And it looks, because even when I'm making photos of our commissions for Infinity, I need to double check with you what the client actually ordered, because I don't know how to label them and tag the photos with the name of the armies.
It is the constant flood of resculpts of the same models, repacks of the same models with 1 or 2 new sculpts,
Yes.
which looks exactly the same as the old one. And it is a dead end. Yes, it is a good descriptor of what's my feeling from the perspective of the painter, from the perspective of fan of miniatures. It lacks of unique.
That's why I brought these Highlanders here because like they are a little bit different. You know, there is a guy you are listening us, so I will try to describe what I'm seeing. Like now, 3 units. Every guy in the unit has the kilt, the skirt, Scottish skirt. Sorry if I'm doing something wrong wording here, but that's what I'm seeing right now. And one of the guy wields a double-edged claymore,
Yeah.
dual-handed weapon. So like it's something different than Infinity
but
shows
it
normally.
is the same pose as we are able to see
On the
with
other miniatures.
Panotania, for
Yes.
example, warriors, and the gunners have the same tactical rock and the same pose of widespread legs.
Yes. In my opinion, the Adepticon is a great moment to see where the brands actually are in their development. We'll see this as well on Atomic Mass games, in my opinion, very, very much. When in their systems as well, you can predict a little bit, looking at Adepticon releases, what will happen with the system. In my opinion, if you are getting some old miniatures that you had in your base and you are trying to resell them again, and you are trying to get a new way to play to your system, but not only like for newcomers, but something more. I'll talk about this in a moment. It feels like they are kind of in a dead end, because next thing is like, next to the new miniatures and stuff, there are trying to bring some two types of the new gameplay.
Are you talking about the legends, Hexadome Legends?
Hexadome Legends is the first thing, actually, because Hexadome Legends is like in my opinion, because it's hard to get the label on it a little bit. It's a board game with Infinity miniatures and Infinity and 5 compatible miniatures, but there will be new classic characters, etc., new models and so on. But this is like
it is a classic pattern from Corvus Belli, because previously they released Warcrow Adventures. It was
Yes.
a board game. I remember that they released quite a few for Infinity, and I'm seeing the same pattern in different publishers. For example, Eldfar Chronicles have the
board games. Yes.
Northern Wind board
Yes.
game, probably,
Yes.
with compatible miniatures. So probably it is a way for wargame publisher to reach the board game audience.
Yeah, but here it's different in my opinion, because Hexadome Legends is not like user-friendly, great game, family time. No, they are trying to make a game which is very, very highly, as the Infinity actually is very two players, sitting under a very tactical gameplay, and it's very, versus game. Let's say like this.
Is it something like a Infinity version of the Blood Bowl?
Maybe, I don't know. I couldn't feel this from the seminar. I haven't read this from the seminar because the seminar is very kind of chaotic in my opinion. It's more like a closed arena battles between those two factions which are in those systems, and it has to be very, very competitive. So it's not new player friendly, as most of the board games should be, in my opinion. Releasing a board game, you're trying to get new people into the system. Okay, you like the board game? Look, here we have a skirmish and a fully fledged war game, right? But here they're trying to, actually get some money from their actual audience, which likes the complexity of an N5 system, and push it a little harder to more competitive gameplay, right? So that's it. For me, these are signs of a little bit of burnout. Maybe, because I know that this system operates like that for some kind of time. As you said, they had this earlier releases of their Aula board games. There's constant flood of new miniatures. New minis.
We are doing it for so long because it's good enough, and it's good enough only because we are doing it for so long.
Yes, and maybe people who are playing this game and collecting like this type of, continuity without deeper sense of, new things, new floodings and stuff. In my opinion, it may work, but we'll see in the future if the system will hold.
On the other hand, it's also about the Corvus Belli. I can say only good words about the Warcrow.
And that's the second thing, like the same company is doing something way opposite with their second system, And maybe that's also the point.
Yeah.
They're not trying to do the same with the.
Because, okay, it is completely different than Infinity because it's the fantasy.
It's fantasy.
Is it generic? Yes. Is it have a little bit of own character? Yes. Also yes, because we have the dwarves, we have forest elves, we have orcs,
humans.
barbarians, humans, knights, but
some weird horrors as
but
well.
they definitely, the sculpts definitely have this corvus belly touch. It is very visible.
In my opinion,
the style of sculpting, the style of projecting the models, but they still have they are so unique in comparison to the Infinity. I really like it.
Each army is different. Yeah. Each army is different, and not only like when I'm looking at the Corvus Belli right now, new Mount Heaven dwarfs. This is a kind of new faction in the game, and they said that they will release new action packs for this army, some kind of starters, let's say, and this is how they are actually promoting a new faction to the game. So this was with the wood elves, Sian, as I believe they were called.
Sianan, yes. Yeah, when I'm looking at the dwarves, I see a little bit of Lord of the Rings influence, especially helmets.
Yes, that's true actually. But this is a worker. If you have seen every once in a time you've seen Warcraft miniatures, you're looking at new dwarfs and saying, okay, this is Warcraft, and that's why I think they have this unique identity, their own identity, and every faction is something like that. Actually, I'm losing the ability to say the differences between two factions, actually, with the feudum and with the hegemony of Embersig. They are looking kind of look alike.
I will disagree.
They will have their own styling, right?
I will disagree because hegemony is like a Spanish warriors, like a conquistadors, and the feudum is like more medieval knights.
Okay, so more Central European. Okay.
Because you have the pantaloons, you have arquebus, you have long pikes with hegemony, and feudum is pure armor.
Maybe I haven't been looking at this closer a little bit, but I saw some gray sculpts, and I had to check if this is actually feudum or this is hegemony. Maybe it's a one-time thing, and it won't happen again because we don't even see a lot of gray sculpts or.
Okay, and except the models, we will have a narrative campaign again, and we will talk about this a bit later. And we will have experimental 400 points game mode.
Yeah,
so we are turning from the skirmish to the small war game.
Yes, and this is actually interesting because Infinity never did this actually as well. The armies in the Infinity are actually big when we are looking at the commission side from our end.
I will disagree again. Okay. Our commissions are big because our customers are ordering all the available options.
Okay. So we are agreeing actually because I know the people are taking all the options as in the Warmachine, but the games are smaller, right?
The games are smaller.
So we are agreeing, no disagreement here. The games are smaller, and in my opinion, it's always good moment to think, okay, we've got so many miniatures. Why we won't make a bigger, game style when we have a lot of cool models,
From the perspective of the Corvus Belli, it will probably drive more sales of the same boxes.
Yes,
and because you have to create bigger units with more manpower.
Maybe they are doing this 400 point mode in the workflow to check the waters a little bit if it will work. Maybe we'll see it in the Infinity. But this is like a huge contrast between Infinity and workflow right now, deepening even more when we talk about this, right? Workflow blooming, workflow growing, workflow making cool miniatures with their own
maintenance mode.
Yeah, and this is like constant flow of the
experiments.
And experiments maybe like the Space Marines on Warhammer 40k are funding, let's say, board games and AOS, right? So maybe we don't know, but
yeah, let's talk about the campaign, but not exactly about this campaign, but the trend we are seeing.
Because this is another game. We'll talk about Warmachine in a second. Warmachine will also already got or will get, I don't remember, the narrative campaign as well.
Our Warmachine received the narrative game expansion for free.
Yes, so that's it. Every major wargame gets actually narrative campaign plays. Let's say StarCraft, even in the roadmap, has right now the game haven't released yet, and they are saying they are working on already with Sam Pearson on narrative campaign as well right now. Warmachine.
Warmachine, but even in 40K we are seeing the Crusade. So many publishers decided to, instead of supporting of competitive side of their games and pumping the tournament stuff. Okay, it's important, but standalone releases are dedicated to the campaigns, to the narrative, to the story.
I remember when we were sitting here talking about trends in wargaming as well one day in the podcast. As we said back then, how many percent of people are competitively playing the games? How many? 2%, 5%?
Maybe.
The rest of the people right now are, looking to have a great time during the game. Maybe some want to, fight like RTS style in a war game they love actually, but maybe some people are, going for a deeper story and, story driven mode. And that's for them. For me, I would love to have more time to play like that. I like tactical stuff. I like, thinking my next move, looking if the enemy won't kill me if I will move there, and how when it goes to wargaming, it's the gameplay style, right? I would love to have more time to play some narrative elements. That's why I like actually Darkwater so much recently, because it has this small amount of narrative gameplay on the cards, on the encounters, because I kinda in my way carve a little bit those narrative elements in the war games as well. I am the type of a player, especially in PC gaming, where I really like way more good story than playing for points with some people on the internet. I really like better the Mass Effect series than Overwatch. Let's say, like I know I'm comparing apples to the tomatoes right now, but yeah, I like this. I like way more than Battlefield, a Stalker games. Let's say, because there is a story, because there is a
more immersion.
More immersion, like you're getting that heaviness of the world, and so on and so on. And really, in my opinion, like let me say, in my opinion, it's my kind of thoughts here. I would really love to play some campaigns because I don't have quite time to do this, but I will love to. And I understand this trend very, very deeply, because I do believe there are some kind of people like me who maybe are not, fighting in multiplayer games, but also like Mass Effect for the narrative story, and they're looking.
Judging by the company's moves, the majority of the players are like you.
Yeah, probably. I hope like that, because I'm finding some remembrance here.
Yeah. Even the best proof is that even the Warmachine, which was super competitive system, decided to make a pivot or make a change and introduce the casual style of play, and not only the meshed.
I think the first place where I will touch actually the narrative campaign play will be actually StarCraft. Probably, I'm waiting for this narrative campaign, and I will probably prepare my models to do this. But yeah, okay, this is for another topic, for hobby, for our hobby part of the podcast.
We can create a podcast or something like this about the immersion, about how to immerse yourself in your wargaming, about the campaigns, stuff like this. If you want to listen, leave a comment and maybe we will record something.
Yeah, but coming back to the narrative system, yeah, this is I like we said, Adepticon is a great place to see where some companies are in the development, and as well, the Adepticon is a great place to see the trends, what will happen in the upcoming year. We still have a March. It's the first quarter, ending of the first quarter, and the Adepticon is like a huge door opener, doors of the whole year in the wargaming. So yeah, this is one thing. This is one big thing, and it's narrative gameplay.
And to the next topic, the Warmachine. Warmachine deserves a little bit of our curiosity. They have a long panel, more than
very long panel.
Very long panel where they revealed a lot of the news, not only about the new miniatures, but about the general approach of the company to the system and their big plans. So the biggest news for me It was the Protectorate of Menoth Resurrection, because this army was deleted or did not have the actual new models or new rules, and right now they will have. The style of the army remains the same.
So it look like people.
Yeah,
like,
I know that some people a little bit disappointed that the company did not decide to rethink the general look of the army, and they decided to go the
with
old
the
way, totally old way. Personally, I'm super happy because I like this look.
Also, this army actually is not similar to anything which is in the Warmachine right now, even with those huge different styles of armies. Because coming back to the identity, I do believe every army in Warmachine is very different.
Very different.
Very different. And when you have a lot of different stuff, in the spectrum of being original, it's very easy to make some army similar to existing one. And I do believe if they would change those Protectorate of Menoth miniatures, they will go into this trap, creating something similar they already have. I do believe they looked on these miniatures and said, okay, this is actually original still. Even if we are, giving a rebirth to an all army, it's still unique enough to be in this actual lineup.
Yeah, and we saw some new models for the Dusk faction. We saw the new super heavies for all factions. Yeah, and personally, I totally love the big steampunk robots and stuff like this. Totally love it.
I like very much the, tell me if I am wrong, reading the name, the Southern Creole Skid Guards. Did I read this correctly? I do believe.
You mean General Gunbjorn?
It like it's hitting my sweet spot for Astra Militarum, my favorite unit, Lemon Rust tank here, and I don't really like the aesthetic of this army.
And the Trollblots are super fun faction.
Yeah,
I also admire them. What's more, I'm seeing that the Steamforge is trying to hit the stores as much as possible. They decided to retire the battle group boxes and simplify the entry point for the new players with the command cadre box and individual war beasts. So they focus on the full army bundles, one-time purchases, less SKU for the shop.
Okay.
It's really important because the space in every store is super limited.
It's very limited.
Yes,
especially in smaller stores.
And it was one of the pillars of the fall for the Privateer Priest, that they have hundreds of different blisters, boxes, units, and it was impossible for the store to stock them.
To stock and even put this on the shelf, probably.
And the last but not least, it's the return of the Pressganger project. It was the cancellation of the Pressganger project. It was pointed as one of the next pillars of the fall for the Privateer Priest, because the Pressgangers are like heralds of the war game. People from the community who are invested in the system, who are trying to promote, who organize the tournaments, and they are rewarded by the company for this effort.
Yeah, and we'll earn points for merchandise.
Yeah, and you and I know that a friend who's showing you a super nice war game is the best advertisement for any war game.
Of course, especially if you're looking in the eye and see this spark in his eyes, saying, "Let's look, it's a new war game. It's great, right?" This is the best advertisement ever.
Yeah,
right?
It's the best advertisement ever, and yeah, Steamforge, you are doing it really good. I can't wait for the next releases. Today is the last day of the month. I will back your campaign on my mini factory to get the 3 armies. And by the way, they announced somewhere, I believe in the comments somewhere, and on the stream also, that they will get back with the Kriegs STLs later this year.
Okay.
For Kriegs. So okay, it's not the level of 40K killer right now.
But they are doing some good work.
But they're doing some good work, and I'm so happy to see the system thriving and growing.
Will you play the narrative campaign if you will grab this? And I know you've got a lot of models, right? So that's why I'm asking.
I have a lot of models, but I'm focusing right now on legacy models.
Okay.
And I'm using just award and models, but for miniature agnostic rules.
Okay. Yeah, because like I'm looking for an opening somewhere to to also enter the narrative systems. But let's this is a topic again for our hobby part. Let's move to the next huge.
Next huge. And do you think that Atomic Mass Games is doing a good work? It depends on what?
Depends on the system, because yeah, again, similar to Corvus Belli, some things are growing, some things are rotting, in my opinion. Star Wars Legion
Is growing.
it's very very growing, because like let's they introduce a lot of models to the existing armies, let's say, and I didn't think they will do this, but they did. Actually, they gave us a new army. They gave us Mandalorians
Yes.
as a separate army.
And except the Mandalorians, we also saw the Rebels.
The Rebels.
I mean from the animation of Rebels.
Yes, yes. Of course, there a lot of stuff, right? Let's say in the Legion upcoming right now, but this is not the end right now, because they ended the stream. Like they part of the stream. It's not even the stream. There was no stream. This is another topic. We'll talk about this later. I know you're smiling right now because I saw people. I've shown the way how Atomic Mass Games introduced themselves on the Adepticon this year, and
Yes.
yeah, I will talk about this a little bit later. We'll return to that. But they ended their part about Legion, that there will be air support, so X-wings, so flying units, flyers, and stuff. Awesome.
The roadmap is so packed.
So packed, very packed.
So packed. Dozens of boxes for Star Wars Legion this year.
I don't know if they're
okay.
a bit too quick.
Some of them are repacked. I won't say they repacked because they are doing everything in hard plastics. The same sculpts,
but in the plastic.
In the plastic. Dozens of boxes. I did not see such a pace since the early release of the Shatterpoint, probably.
I will say.
And of course, GW.
It's good, right?
But they have so many systems in GW. Yeah?
I'm asking if they want. You're saying the Shatterpoint was like also running in the releases. I'm asking if there will end like Shatterpoint. I'm not meaning the Shatterpoint ends right now, but we'll talk about this later. The pace is enormous, and I was thinking about new armies, even if they will announce, of course, new armies in the game, the Legion.
I think that they are putting everything on one card.
Right now, on the Legion.
For the Star Wars.
For Legion. The Star Wars Legion. Because right now, Shatterpoint, if you know...
They decided to go all in, and the game might resurrect as a phoenix from the ashes, or they will pump this to the market and the game will die.
I think that this fast-paced level of, giving new models to get... is aimed to get trust of the people who were maybe playing Legion or were thinking about jumping into the Legion, and because you want to play a game which receives support, right?
The game is super cool. I played so many battles in Star Wars Legion, and I had a few armies for this game, and we played so many battles with the colleagues from the studio. And yeah, the game is good. After the transition to Atomic Mass Games, it was a disaster.
Yes, because it flopped, actually.
It flopped because the Atomic Mass Games did not have any manpower to actually think and take care about the game. We had problems with the stock. Many boxes were not available for months. It causes that it was super hard to introduce to new players.
And people quit. That's normal.
Because Atomic Mass Games focused on the Shatterpoint and on Marvel Crisis Protocol.
How tables have turned.
And right now, they put a brake on the Shatterpoint and full steam ahead to Star Wars Legion.
In my opinion,
Marvel is also in a quite weird spot right now.
It's in a stasis, in my opinion. It's not like they said directly about Shatterpoint. They are, putting some brakes on it because they reached the moment where the miniatures. What do you want to publish more? They are right now in the sequel era, which we already said we kind of don't like this part of the Star Wars universe, and and that's it. I'm looking on the Marvel Crisis Protocol. They are also running out of ideas.
They are going towards the board games compatible with the
with
War
miniatures
game.
which are not needed to be glued, which will be push fit, and yeah, will be compatible with Marvel Crisis Protocol standard game. Right now, they
And another board game from War Game publisher.
yes,
It's also a trend worth noticing.
It's even not one board game. It's free actually.
It's free actually.
There will be free board games. No one is using a word board game. That's interesting, but it looks like a word board game.
And it is a board game.
It is a board game. There will be free smaller campaigns, let's say.
Okay, okay, I see it now. It's the Night of the Goblin, Attack of the Sentinels, and the ones on the future card.
I would grab Attack of the Sentinels because they've got an X-Men. There will be a Wolverine. There will be Sentinels. This is something I actually read as a child. I read X-Men. I liked X-Men. I really love Wolverine as a guy. I would grab this if the gameplay is all right. I would grab this even for the miniatures, right? The paint to put on the shelf and see ya, right? Great, right? But is it enough to to keep this game? Because the other miniatures, when I looked at them, I know who Jubilee is, and that's it. Like there are 3 release of packs of the heroes, and I do believe 3 models sold separately, which will be sold separately as a new models, and I don't recognize any of those. I'm not in this Marvel.
Maybe we are not the target.
Maybe. There are also new starter packs, which also are like, scraping the barrel, in my opinion, a little bit, because they weren't some new starters before, and each of those starters, gather different heroes and enemies of those heroes, villains, let's say, from the different, let's say, universes. Right now is an Asgard, so the Thor and stuff, and the second one is Guardians of the Galaxy. All right, okay, you're trying to get new people to play the game, but yeah, as well, I haven't watched actually the Marvel videos, so Guardians of the Galaxy.
There is a new movie upcoming, New Avengers.
Really? I didn't know even that. I know the Endgame was a huge deal. There was a lot of memes and stuff, but okay, I maybe sound like a fucking old jerk right now, but yeah, a little bit.
I agree.
I don't want to be, skeptic, but it looks like it. Looking at those 3 games, actually, Legion is growing, Shatterpoint is moving backwards, maybe not moving backwards, but it's stopped, and Crisis Protocol is right now on a little jog towards the future, but we'll see how much fuel has it.
Yeah, I wish AMG all the best. I hope they will have enough support from their parent company, Asmodee. I fully agree that they have really good game designers.
And they've got great IPs in their hands.
Yes, they have great IPs in their hand. It looks like to me that they are not sure where to put an effort and which game shall be their main game.
There is a feeling here of uncertainty.
A little bit chaos.
Yeah, a little bit like, yeah, this is it. They put on the Shatterpoint before. They put right now on the Legion before. Not before, right now. What will happen if Legion will run dry?
We will
because
see.
like right now, Shatterpoint run dry. Marvel looks like it's going to be dry in a moment. And what will happen when the Legion will dry out? Because we will publish every miniature from the game, from the animations, from the every faction.
Actually, I think that we are so far away from.
Oh yes, we are.
Because in Shatterpoint you have to focus on the heroes.
Oh, the heroes.
But for example, if they announce the air support in 2027, it's so wide topic. They can include the X-wing. They can include a few different ties.
Okay.
They can include Y-wings. They can include for the clones and for the separatists the LAA.
We can count.
Yeah, we can count.
2 years, 3 years will pass.
And I even think that we will finally see AT.
If there will be AT-AT, I will buy it probably. I'm not playing like Legion, but I always want Lego AT-AT. Couldn't afford it as a kid, so yeah, probably I will get this. But nonetheless, 3 years. Let's give it 3 years, maybe 4, and the Legion will be in a place where is Marvel Crisis Protocol right now, because there will be ships, units, armies from like a very edge of the Star Wars.
Okay, but
maybe
you can always make a deep dive into the Old Republic.
Okay, yeah, but still, it's a very edge of the Star Wars fan base. Let's say like that. This is the Old Republic is not something that average fan knows of existence.
I agree to disagree with you.
Okay,
I would love to see a Gungan army, for example.
I would love to see, like, say, a Sith army with a Revan as a main hero.
I would love to see the Tuscans.
Yes, Tuscan army, it will be like troll army.
You can probably dig even the Shadow Collective.
Shadow Collective was actually in,
but you can
Rooster,
dig
right?
in the Black Sun. You can dig in the Pikes and build the Rooster around this.
There's a lot of like ways, of course. But yeah, look, let's grab a person who is in the Star Wars.
Actually, I want to play the Legion right now when we are talking about this.
Great. Great.
No, it's not great because I sold my armies.
Oh, it's time to buy the armies then again, Mr. Head of the
starters are really cool right now.
Yes, that's true. But coming back to my original thought, let's say there is a person who wants to start playing Legion because they heard the game is cool and stuff, but they are in the same level as I am in Marvel Crisis Protocol in Marvel Universe. I don't think they will be interested in playing, Jesus Christ, Jar Jar Binks army and the other stuff, right? So yeah, we'll have to live to see another day, and maybe we'll return to the Legion in 2 or 3 year times to to actually kind of judge our ways of thinking right now, right here. So
yeah, except the Star Wars stuff and Marvel stuff, we have Konflikt 47,
and this is actually the last before the Warhammer decay. This is one of the topics where we were watching constantly in the past few months. Konflikt is in a place of the new war game with a lot of ideas right now, and I don't know how it looks, how it will take to put those ideas.
Warlord Game felt the money and they are pumping.
They are right now in the middle of releasing the Festung Europa, so new expansion book, new miniatures. Right now, we are talking about this in a recent podcast about the news stuff. They were showing how people are playing, how people are, painting the miniatures and stuff. And on the Adepticon, they showed that they will not only be in Europe, but they are trying to go to the Pacific right now.
And Invasion Amerika is the
next
expansion, new narrative expansion book. They introduced the Pacific factions,
and there will be United States again, because like the United States is still in Europe, right? But Imperial Japan, which will be themed. We could see at Adepticon some silhouettes.
I'm a bit disappointed because it's the samurai style.
Yeah, again.
So it's always the same.
Yeah, it's always the same.
Oh, let's make Asian style
army and let's give them katanas.
Samurais.
Yes, let's give them katanas. Like, I'm just wondering right now if Japan people have stereotypes about the Europeans as well. Like, we are, I don't know, going to church or something.
If you're from Japan,
please let us know. If you have some like stereotypes about us Poles, let's say like that. Barszcz and Schabowy. Let's keep on. They are doing this. They are doing this stuff, and they showed maybe not so much miniatures at the Adepticon, but they showed a lot of like the work behind the scenes. So they showed
the production pipeline. Probably.
Yes, they showed production pipeline, but as well a lot of concepts that they will use or don't know each with.
It was a clear message. We are developing.
Yes.
And wait for many amazing things.
Yes. Like, I can wait actually, because I like this style. I like this style of the miniatures, like Wolfenstein style miniatures. Maybe Pacific and Japan versus United States part of the World War II isn't the closest to my heart, but still, looking how they are going to do this and how they actually will world build around everything.
By the way, it is a topic for another talk, and probably not in this podcast, but look at how this one particular conflict, World War II, shaped so many war games and movies and books.
Everything, games.
Yeah,
PC gamings. Like the first, why I actually like World War II setting, despite the fact that is one of the most horrible experiences in the world, actually, right? Why me 7-year-old child was given Medal of Honor Allied Assault as a PC game. I don't know what my parents were thinking giving me that game. I believe I downloaded the demo and then I will grabbing some money towards to it for a half year because it was so pricey for grabbing an original game here in Poland back then. But I got this, right? I played the campaign, on the repeat. I remember, increasing the difficulty and stuff.
Each forever.
Right now the game looks like the poor made by some newbie developer game.
But back in the time, it was awesome.
Oh, it was awesome. Landing in the Normandy, it was like
the same like a Call of Duty one.
You were having this Saving Private Ryan movie, and you're feeling in the Medal of Honor like from Saving Private from
Ryan.
Yeah. So this is it, right? And that's why I do believe there is my love for this setting because I then digged in the weaponry, I digged in the conflicts.
I'm just curious if in 20 or 30 or 40 years it will still be a topic.
In the next 20 years?
Yes. Or even further.
I don't know. We are in our 30s right now.
Yeah. 10, 15 years, it will be 100 years since the start of the World War II.
I think we'll look at
it's a century.
Our kids, my son, will look at the World War II as we are looking at the World War I, in my opinion. Maybe even, or even maybe as we are looking on the war in the Amerika, home war, secession and stuff. Like, okay, we know it happened. We have some reminiscences from that time, and we know how it shaped the world right now. But does it have an impact in our lives? Maybe not. We are the generation which actually knew people who were fighting, people who were living through that times, right? My grandparent was a freaking, guy on a horse riding, delivering messages in the front line. And like, I could ask him about, well, this everything, right? And like, he wasn't like eager to talk about this actually, but yeah, right now I know why. But yeah, we have been in those times, maybe not living, but still having those histories right now. And I think in 20, 30 years time, it maybe will be a great place to develop ideas like Konflikt 47, to fantasize about, make other scenarios, but rather than, having a great place to, write some story, I don't think we'll live through this like right now.
Okay, and it is it for our historical corner.
Yes.
Last but not least, it is a honorable mention. I wanted to talk about the new edition of BattleTech.
Okay.
They announced that they are
doing
this, and they even showed some boxes, some models. I bet that maybe not this year, but the next year, it will be a year of BattleTech. The game is constantly growing. I saw from Gamma, it is a big convention, but for the retailers and producers, that BattleTech is one of the best-selling systems in the US.
And this is mind-blowing actually for us Europeans, because we are not seeing a lot of this on our tables.
Yes, I'm curious why.
Yes.
When I was at the Essen show last year, I saw so many BattleTech, especially in the hall 1. It was 2 or 3 quite big shops, and on hall 4 or 3, I don't remember now, there was another big stand with BattleTech. So maybe we are on the verge
of entering this system.
This system to the mainstream in Europe too.
Okay. Because I know anything about BattleTech besides the fact that we are
big robots, hexes.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I know, right? I know you are in the topic more than me. But yes, this is what we will have to actually look a little bit more probably, because if you're right, yeah, we will see a lot more of BattleTech on our painting tables, right? So,
and I hope to see the more BattleTech because they are quite unique. There is no other game with this kind of models right now.
I do remember from Essen some, the drones and like battlesuits style game.
It was kind of Gundam style.
Gundam style. So more on the
it was from this Chinese company.
So that explains a lot.
Excuse me, I don't remember the name of the game right now. You can always check our blog.
Oh, it wasn't Genshin Impact.
No, it wasn't Genshin Impact.
It was like No, I don't
Yeah,
remember as well.
you can check our blog, and maybe if you will, if you're-
Obsidian Protocol.
Obsidian Protocol.
Obsidian Protocol. I know there
Thank
was
you
a
so much.
there was a stone right there.
Thank you so much. And except this, there is no
Yeah.
game. Okay, right now there is a Gundam, the official Gundam.
Yeah, I've seen the
war game,
models.
probably. So yeah, can't wait for the BattleTech releases, and maybe a new edition of the game is a good point for the players like me or you to jump into and buy a small starter with 4 or 8 mechs and play a game.
I will say if the models are all right, because I send them on, they are all right. But mechs are not the stuff that I love actually, right? I mean, so for me, probably it would be a game system and how the game plays to actually pull me abroad. So we'll see. We'll have to see. We'll have to live to see. One question, Bart: are we talking about GW today? Because we had a lot of fun time, not talking about that.
Maybe that's good, because the GW, okay, everyone knows GW, and the smaller or more independent publishers also need a little bit of spotlight. Okay, our podcast is super small right now, but maybe this episode will also have so many views as the previous one.
StarCraft 1 would actually hit the very, very good. For us, 600 listeners, it's a lot of, and over 50 hours listening.
Even more than 600 listeners, because you're talking about the YouTube only, and I have insight into Apple Podcast and Spotify, because remember, you can listen us
only on YouTube.
Yeah.
So if you are driving a car and don't want to, you don't have a YouTube Premium to block your phone to listen.
Of course, we can talk about the 11th edition, and we will in a while. But I have a feeling that we have to support other companies, not only GW. GW is doing good without our buffs, and maybe even if one person will buy a starter for the Warcrow, or maybe the Konflikt 47, or any other games we mentioned here, it's good. It's our small support to the community.
Even if someone won't buy it, but actually get interest and known to these systems, which are in our opinion worth attention, right? Because how they are handling things is good. It's good. So GW 10th edition, something which we speculated a lot before, is going on. I'm happy to see not blue on the box art,
as we predicted, and many rumors are confirmed.
Orcs versus Blood Angels.
Orcs versus Blood Angels, the new starter for 11th edition. The new edition, we won't see a revolution. It's rather evolution of the current system.
Yes.
They even confirmed that all the codexes are still valid.
And will be valid.
That's of course, until the release of the new codex.
Of course.
It was the same. It was the same story with the previous edition.
But they will change some terrain modifiers. You're not only throwing save rolls.
That's actually big, because right now we are playing with objective markers, 40mm round objective markers.
And they are gone.
So it is a small, or maybe big, step towards the more narrative play.
Yes.
We are not fighting for a spot on the board,
for tokens.
but we are fighting for the radar, for the bunker, for the destroyed command center, stuff like this. It's okay. It adds a new layer of the narration into the game, even for the competitive game. I just hope that we will finally end the era of the L-shaped cardboard crates.
Didn't they actually announce something like that? No, I don't believe.
Okay, they can they can announce anything, but what will players adapt? It's different story. Yeah?
Okay. We'll see. But I like very much the fact that we are getting back to the Armageddon. I like this setting very much. I love my boy Yarick, which actually has been resurrected lately.
Again.
And again. Yes, this is it. A little bit of the, let's say, controversy was like during the Astra Militarum, around Astra Militarum, or Imperial Guard, let's say like that, because of two things: new units. And many people think they look like a little bit, not grimdarky, but modern warfare-y.
Okay, let's say it honestly, World War II vehicles.
Yes, if I want to play bolt action, I would play bolt action, right?
Yes.
But there is a second thing. People were angry because on the trailer where Yarick comes, and later on they're also shown on the YouTube channel the official painting scheme for Kriegsmen for Krieg. I love Krieg, but actually people got mad over them because there is no Steel Legion.
Wait.
Games,
You can always paint your Krieg models as a Steel Legion.
and they did this, like they put on the video on the YouTube how to paint Kriegs in the Steel Legion. Right. People were mad. My God, that there won't be a Steel Legion. The Steel Legion was cancelled. My God, people were angry. People have a lot of love for Astra Militarum detachments.
Yeah, I'm super happy. Back to the starter set. I'm super happy to see that the orcs will receive a new models. They already showed the new hero on the motorbike.
Yes,
and they announced the new orc boys, new core models,
and it's very
and today they revealed the new knob.
Yes, the boys will be more versatile than they were before because they are actually have their war gear, which was optional on the previous models. Right now on the model,
Because
yes, free options. There were free options, and right now those free options are incorporated on that one miniature.
That's good.
That's good.
We will see new intercessor squad for the primaries, for the Space Marines, and it's also good. They require a little bit of refresh, and the key of this refresh is, okay, intercessors are on the front line for a few hundred years already, and they are not super brand new right now, and they have to use the equipment from the previous eras.
Yes. That's actually cool to see the old helmets on the miniatures from the.
Yeah, that's not only the Mark 10, but also Mark 9, 8, 7, 6.
Great.
I can't wait for the kit bashes.
Yeah, that's actually true. There was some models as well, but I don't think there is no, getting into the details. New books, campaign books, Armageddon, The Return of Yarick. Right now on the Saturday or Sunday preview, there was Saturday pre-order. Sunday preview. Sunday Iron Warriors and books with Iron Warriors. So
and the new Apocalypse rules.
And new Apocalypse rules, right, as well. We'll get new battalion boxes for starter or reinforced sync Astra Militarum Systems of Battle, Death Watch and Orcs.
And super cool Inquisitor from Ordox Xenos.
Yes, that's true.
That's on my wish list.
He's looking very cool.
Yeah, the Sister of Battle looks like the new Inquisitor Karamazov.
Yes, that's actually true.
I prefer the old model, but it's good that they are trying to refresh the old classics.
And she's having a seat belt, sitting on this huge automata. Well, whatever. Moving on, 400, 4,000, 40k, collecting Warhammers. We are behind that point. Let's go to Kill Team.
Yes, and the Kill Team will receive the Terror on Devlan box.
So huge red Tyrannid.
Yes, it is a huge Tyrannid. I believe
it's big.
I believe that it is also an introduction of big models in the game.
That's what she said. Okay, yeah, big models in the game, and as well, I do believe, as far as I understood the narrative behind the Devon box, this will be kind of a boss battle.
Yes, it is a new way to play the Kill Team, where you and your friends can play versus the
boss. As actually, I haven't been expecting this, but yeah, this is kind of refreshing to see a Kill Team not. Again, this is another system not going to competitive play, which is strictly competitive.
Kill Team, the core of the.
We've got a guy here who plays Kill Team, and he's like.
They introduced the solo mode, the co-op mode, and right now they are developing a co-op mode and solo mode.
That's freaking great. Actually, we need to talk a little bit more someday about solo wargaming, because this is as well the topic. Maybe not visible as much on the Adepticon, but as well it's a trend which is going on, and I think it's worth of the attention as well. But moving on, Spectre Squad and stuff, like the usual box from the Kill Team. So one side and second side will get models.
Yeah, because I believe that the Kasrkin are going away from the competitive for sure, and the Spectre is a way to replace them somehow.
Okay, this was for the 40k Age of Sigmar. And what do you think about Age of Sigmar releases? Because, like,
to be honest, I totally love it.
In my opinion, they are some kind. Okay, you cannot outshine the 11th edition, right? But if there won't be an 11th edition and some cool models as usual, right, I think it would shine more from the Age of Sigmar, especially looking at the Skaven
Clan Ashen
related
models.
stuff.
They are super lovely. They are super lovely. I love the Skaven look in the Age of Sigmar. They require some new models, definitely.
That's actually true.
Because some of them are super old.
Yeah, they kind of old, and it's very, very good to see that they received some love.
This showing of love started with the Skaven Tide. They received
Some
a
new
little
models.
bit of new spots, but they still have so many old miniatures which require a little bit of refresh.
Okay. Additionally, there were some Cities of Sigmar.
It is actually a big release of this preview because we saw so many new models, and all of them, in my opinion, are quite awesome. Even this big walking fortress, Cog Forts. First of all, it's amazing kit for the conversions.
Of course, you can do this. You can do.
It reminds me the Marienburg class ship. It's okay. You are looking at me, but I remember this model for the Imperium. It was big ship on the wheels with the crew shooting everything around.
Fair enough. Look, sounds like Games Workshop stuff.
We saw some new
yes, wizards and
new ogres and new heavy infantry and new hero. So all Cities of Sigmar players are probably super satisfied.
There is a little bit of rumor going on about 5th edition of Age of Sigmar, but I do believe this will be on the other topic. I mean, if you know, you know. If you don't know, we'll talk about this more in a future podcast probably. But let's be happy right now for what we are seeing.
Yeah, there is a rumor that GW did this leak to actually catch the leaker.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So
we'll see.
We will see.
This is the game.
This is the game.
Not the checkers, but the chess. Yeah, we'll see. Horus Heresy, a little bit. Small stuff, I do believe. So this is probably more your stuff than mine. Spartan Assault Tank, so another tank. Ogrins are going into 30k. Some Solar Exilia and of course the last things. But one thing again, coming back from the dead, a little bit deady, maybe not dead to 100%, but smelling dead. Warhammer Underworlds.
I don't believe in this system anymore.
I don't believe as well. I do. When I was watching the original stream, I was like, "Oh, Underworlds!" And then some miniatures, some.
Also, get back to the Cities of Sigmar and to the Skavens. I believe that this spearhead was previously designed as a warcrow. I think that it was rebranded to the
normal Sigmar.
To the normal Sigmar.
Okay. Like if you are playing Underworlds, we're happy for you. Get something new. But let's be honest, this is going a little bit nowhere, and there is no more thought given to that system
until they will announce the next big edition or make a general change. It won't thrive.
I kind of feel, and this is something I'm thinking about more and more as I'm sitting in this hobby. I feel kind of tired of 40k and Age of Sigmar. Look, even if in our studio we were speaking about today about Golden Demon, we are not so hyped about the Golden Demon right now.
It's another topic. Last year, I was quite amazed
by the
gold tier, by the silver tier, by the Slayer Sword winner. And this year, I disagree with so many picks that.
We'll talk this on the part, but what I'm saying, look at even today that the GW would be something that will make us very, very happy. And right now I'm looking at the 11th edition. Yeah, it will be big, it will be huge. I want to play this, right? But there is a lot of new stuff from other publishers, which is also making my heart going a little bit faster as well.
That's actually super good. It means that the community is growing, that the market is growing, and we are not seeing so big difference in the quality of the models, in the quality of the games between the biggest releaser, GW, and the smaller ones.
Yes, and that's
because previously it was okay. You want the quality, you want super nice game, you have only GW.
UGW.
And right now it's quite the opposite.
quite the opposite. Yeah, even like in the terms of your loft, not changing turns in the Warhammer 40k, where you are sitting whole phases at the table watching what your opponent is doing, right? And with this bombshell, I think we can end this podcast, because and with this conclusion, there's a lot of cool things going on,
cool and high quality
and
things
high
going on.
quality things with great gameplay styles
And we did not even mention about, for example, the Conquest new releases.
Yes. Oh, this missed me a lot.
We didn't mention about the many Modifius games, like an upcoming Fallout Wasteland Warfare 2nd Edition, the Fallout factions.
And that's actually the second thing. It costed me a lot to grab those news, actually. I wanted to talk about this, I forgot.
Yes.
The Atomic Mass games.
Yes.
Is sending from their blog posts, where they wrote nothing, showed some pictures, to not their own channel on YouTube, but some guy who recorded the whole their show.
Yeah,
with a phone,
with super poor voice.
Yes, with the echo and reverb and stuff. And I was trying to make a transcript for this, and there was no transcript for this. I as not a native speaker of English, it was very hard for me even to understand what the guy is saying.
So please, Atomic Mass Games, you can do it better.
And grabbing all those news was actually quite a hassle, because every of those publishers, even Steamforged, had only like 2 of the armies of the parts of the releases shown in their blog, but nothing more about their growing as a plant and shoppings and stuff. This was from the keynote. You have to watch the whole 1-hour video to learn about this, right? So it was kind of hard to find even what we found and got from the Adepticon, not being there. And there is a lot of more to cover on.
If you are interested in pictures and reading some stuff about the games we mentioned today,
I will post the blogs in the description.
Yeah, we prepared quite comprehensive blogs. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much. It was James for you here.
And it was Bart. Thank you.
See you people on the next one. Bye.